Hello, geeks. This is the officially unofficial geek channel, Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Roundup. I am your host, as always, Carrie Quinn, coming at ya Sunday evening with the comic roundup. Like I said, we talk spoilers because why not? It's Sunday. If you haven't read your comics yet, then I suggest you go ahead and you click the pause button on this video, you go read your comics, and then come back to me. Okay, so I'm coming at you every week with the weekly comic roundup, Spoilertastic edition, and I am really excited about this week. Let's go ahead and get things started. Let's not keep you very long. We got stuff to do. It's Sunday night. Anywho, so as always, I go from my least favorite to my most favorite. So let's let the carnage begin. So it's amazing that I should say carnage because Robin's One, the highly anticipated Robin's One, came out this past week, and dear God, I hated it. I hated it, guys. I'm so sorry. I hated it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why would the Robins sit down to hash out why each of them were Robin and why? Why? What's the point of that? What is the ever-loving point of that? Except for, I don't know. I actually don't know. I sincerely don't know what the point of all that is. And what is with Jason just pounding the table when he's talking about being a criminal? Like, I was a criminal! Like, dude, chill. It's okay. It's okay. We have you here, and we need you here, Jason. Okay? Okay. Why would somebody be claiming to be the first Robin? Why is the art so bad? And it does not make sense. Never mind. Never mind this one. Okay. This is a big disappointment. This one, big disappointment. Moving on. Wonder Woman Evolution, 1 of 8. Ugh. Okay, so the art was not something I liked at all. It was really turning me off to the story. Like, have you ever read a book that you're just like, okay, I like Wonder Woman and or whatever, and I'm gonna read this book and it's gonna be great, and then you get into it and the art just makes you cringe. I'm doing a lot of emphasis on that cringe because it really made me cringe. Okay. There's this moment, legit. Superman is in this, and he's talking with Wonder Woman in the Himalayas about something. I know what they're talking about, but to be completely honest with you, that's another thing. There was absolutely no point to that as well. There's a moment where Superman is supposed to look like he's joking around with Wonder Woman, but I gotta tell you, the art made him look like a ventriloquist dummy. Like, really. I am not exaggerating when the art made Superman look like a ventriloquist dummy. This took me out of the story, obviously. The bad art to me. Wonder Woman did not look, she looked like she looked like, okay, so like, you know, you see how like there's kind of like a little bit of a dip here with your nose, like when it meets your forehead. Well, the problem is the artist had drawn Wonder Woman so that she did not have that dip. You know, and I get it. Her tiara was kind of covering that area up, but it looked weird. It looked like she was okay, there's this alien race that I remember in Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and I think the character's name was And Odo like had like the nose that just kind of like went straight, like, into his forehead. That's what it reminded me of. Okay. So basically, I don't even like, yeah, if the art hadn't taken me out of the story, um I don't know what I would have found, because when I sat there and I tried to analyze both separately, um it when I started thinking about it, it didn't make much sense that we had Wonder Woman fighting the Silver Swan. Okay, that's the beginning of the book. She's fighting the Silver Swan, and then she's moping about it in the Himalayas with Superman, right? And then we get her being pulled through a portal. I Not a lot is really kind of determined in this story, in this first, and I get it. Maybe the issue, it's an 8-part series, but let me tell you something. Like, if in so many parts, in good story structure, in so many pages, something should be happening, and not a lot was happening here, to really get me to want to read further. All it was to me was, what was the point of the fight with the Black Swan if it was going to mean nothing? And what was the point about the moping about it? She saved everyone. What? She didn't, like, defeat the Black Swan. The Black Swan, like, got away, but she saved everyone, and now she's going to go mope about it? Seriously. No. Okay, so the next comic we're going to talk about here is Batman 117. With the exception of Fear State Omega, this is pretty much the main title swan song, of the Fear State event, if you want to call it that. Here's the thing. There are elements about this issue that I liked. Basically, anything involving Poison Ivy, Harley, and all that, absolutely fantastic, beautiful, wonderful. Could not get enough. Okay. Another element that was just absolutely, positively wonderful, beautiful, can't get enough, is Jimenez, Jorge Jimenez's artwork is just superior to a lot of people, and using him and his ability to create the way he does, in this story, really, there's like this 2-page spread of Batman and Peacekeeper 1 fighting, and it is absolutely off the chain. It is completely, it's like, it's beautiful in its complexity, and it's like just showing the overall brutality of these two men just completely going at each other, and it was crazy good. And then you have the sincerity and loveliness of everything having to do with the Harley and Gardner and Poison Ivy story. And when Poison Ivy just is like, she merges. Okay, guys, this is spoilers, remember. So the two Poison Ivy aspects, Queen Ivy and Ivy, merge together to make one, Supreme Ultimate Ivy. And Ivy's like, you know what? I can help this. I can do this. I can make a difference. Here I am. Okay, so she is like, I'm going to go and I'm going to heal this child from the Unsanity Collective. And I'm going to bring them back, and they're going to be good as new. And then I'm going to use my pheromones and my ability to control plant life and the green. And I'm going to take it up, and I'm going to heal Gotham from this whole Fear State thing. It is absolutely beautiful, and it is one of the things that kind of took, the weak moment that Miracle Molly had, in the end, and it really helped her see that things weren't as bad as they should be. Okay, so like anything involving Ivy, the art, all that, totally on board with. The problem was, I don't care how sincere Batman is trying to be, Why in the ever-loving goddamn hell would he take his goddamn cowl off in front of somebody that is about ready to push a button to wipe a lot of people's memories? A lot. Why? I don't care if he's trying to look sincere. I don't care. I don't care. Why in the ever-loving, all that is, gosh, feeling and bugger happy, would Batman take his cowl off in front of Miracle Molly to just, oh, look, Batman's Bruce Wayne? Like, what? What? No. Bad idea, Batman. Bad Batman. Bad. Okay, and honestly, this whole thing, like, okay, so we've got Batman Fear State Omega coming. We've got next week, we've got a Harley Quinn tie-in. We've got a Detective Comics supposed tie-in. We've got Catwoman tie-in. We've got that. We've got Omega coming. I'm going to be talking about Nightwing in a moment. And this whole thing was just so lackluster with some exceptions. Some exceptions. I'm going to tell you, there were some exceptions in this whole thing. I'm going to tell you, and I've mentioned this before in my videos, that I feel like the tie-ins, like Taylor, Romvey, and everything like that, Stephanie Phillips at times with Harley, the tie-ins understood the assignment of trying to write in a event, so to speak. But there's just something that didn't work for me involving Batman, all the main issue titles. And some of the stuff like on the tie-ins, yeah, like there was a whole issue of Harley Quinn where she went camping. Like, yeah. Okay, so the other thing I think of that this also a whole thing, you know, and I might do another retrospect just on video on just Fear State as a whole after we get that Omega issue, separate from everything else, where it's just the idea that, you know, due to, you know, the everything having to do with COVID, you have the printer issues, you have like the paper issues, the paper shortages, everything like that, scheduling problems. It seemed like there was a lot of things leading up to Fear State and within Fear State that didn't seem to really come out in the right order. And there's a part of me that's just like, what if I sat there and I collected all the issues that I have for Fear State, put them in chronological order, and then read them, and then assess how I feel about them overall, which is something I am probably maybe going to do. But let's go ahead and talk about Nightwing. Let's talk about Nightwing 86, which Fear State title-wise was better than Batman in a number of ways, but that wasn't saying a lot, guys, okay? I love Nightwing. You guys know I love Nightwing. Well, I'm very glad that they were able to find the Batgirls in one piece. And they decided to just like Scooby-Doo this thing, and they using Peacekeeper armor because they beat up some Peacekeepers to get and infiltrate the airbase, which I love it. To me, it just seems kind of Scooby-Doo, you know? Whether it is actually Scooby-Doo-like or not, I don't care. That's just the thing that came to my mind. Maybe somebody in the comments can tell me what it actually seems like if it's not like Scooby-Doo. But yeah, they totally beat up some Peacekeepers, took their armor, used that to use the drones to and the armor that they were now wearing to infiltrate the airbase, take out Simon Saint, take out all these things so that, you know, he gets his comeuppance in Batman. Now, if you haven't read it yet and you don't care about spoilers and you're watching me right now, I would say that your best bet is to read Nightwing, then Batman. Because if you read Batman, then Nightwing, it's going to be a little bit out of order. Okay. There's things that Batman reveals to Molly at the end of Batman issue that have already happened in Nightwing. So keep that in mind. So they basically infiltrate that airbase, get all the innocent people off of it, and crash it into the harbor. Now, they went on that airbase to try to find the seer, the anti-oracle, and they didn't find her. They feel like that they were tricked onto doing that, but then you find out a little bit of thing at the end. The seer actually was one of the people they saved off of the air station. Yeah. So we're not done with that. And if you read any of the Batgirl, there was a lot of that first Batgirl story, like just scattered throughout the out the DC books, but then you had Nightwing, where it had like a second part to the Batgirl story. Because if you read like the first part of the Batgirl story, and then you read Nightwing, and then you read the second part of the Batgirl story, you're in check. You know that the seer is definitely going to be something that is still a part of the story coming up, especially in Batgirls, which I believe is coming out next month. So that sounds like a good story. I really like the previews that we got for it this week. I was really enjoying it. Great art, great story. I love Stephanie and Cass working off of each other. I love that. That was pretty cool. So let's get into some good stuff here. So what I'm going to talk to you next about is Nubia and the Amazons. This is the second issue of the 6-issue series, and it's Fight for the Throne of Themyscira. Yeah, okay. So Nubia, we know where Nubia is coming from. Nubia is pretty awesome. I have to say I'm enjoying the 2 issues of Nubia and the Amazons that we've gotten, a little bit more than anything I've gotten from Wonder Woman lately. So kudos to you. There seems to be a past connection between Nubia and one of the new arrivals from the well. It looks like they knew each other in their human life. Penelope is uneasy from her, possibly prophetic dreams. And apparently, Medusa is running amok, possessing Amazons, looking for her head. And Nubia, with all this happening, has to figure out who's going to watch the damn door. And it's really entertaining, empowering story, and especially I'm very interested in finding out where that whole storyline goes. 1, with Medusa running amok, and 2, with Nubia having a personal connection to one of the new Amazons from the well. So the next one we're going to talk about is the only one that's not DC this week is Elvira meets Vincent Price. Oh my goodness, I love this. This is issue 3. I believe there's only going to be 4. This is just a breath of fresh air. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love Elvira. I love Vincent Price. And to have this story going on is just amazing. I absolutely love it. And you know what? It's just a great story. Basically, what we've got here, we got Vincent Price. The ghost of Vincent Price has utilized the help of Elvira to go and find a print of this movie that he supposedly made but was never released. And they're doing this to stop the end of the world. And hijinks ensue. And I'm absolutely in love with this. And I'm kind of sad that there's only 1 issue left. But that's kind of how these things work. I definitely really enjoyed it. It's campy, great art, and I love how at one point the writer does make a little bit of a kind of a shout out to the fact that Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, actually came out of the closet recently and, told the world, hey, I'm here and I'm gay. And by the way, this is my lovely partner that I've been with for like 20 years. So the writer does take a little moment to do kind of a humorous little nod to that. And I really enjoyed it and I really love it. And I'm really loving that this is not just some writer writing about Elvira, but Elvira is actually, being consulted with this. And I love it. So we're getting down to the last two comics, and I'm really excited because the next one is Superman, Son of Kal-el. This is the issue, guys. And I'm going to tell you something. This created a lot of controversy, and it seemed like it was going to be this big, huge thing, but it wasn't a big, huge thing. And you know what? That was perfect. That was perfect to not make it this big, huge thing where it was like fireworks going off and everyone take cover. John is kissing Jay. Jay is kissing John. Everyone take cover. Superman is kissing a man. It's okay. It wasn't like that at all. Even though they kind of did make it look like that it would be like that. But it wasn't like that at all. And I think that was perfect. Yeah, so like this is what we've been waiting for, and there was no fireworks, no explosions, no undying declaration of love eternal, and no villain kidnapping Jay. Nope. None of that, and it was brilliant. It was anticlimactic, and it was everything it should be. If you're out there watching or listening to me and you love someone in a romantic way, maybe like me, you live with them, and that place with them, wherever it is your home, where you can shed your bra or walk around in your boxers and let your guard down. It is, wherever they are, is that comfort, that home, that effortless feeling. This kiss is something that happened because John didn't have to be Superman with Jay. He could just be John. In a really shitty world, it seems everyone everywhere needs Superman, not John. And to be just kind of torn in every direction. And for Jay to be like, you don't have to save me. This is just where you go to be John. He doesn't have to be there because he's not there because he's Superman. He's there because he's John. And that is absolutely the beauty of all of that. Yeah. Like, the thing is you have plenty of things that are happening in that issue, and you can just be like, okay, so like plenty of things are happening, but the overall concept that you're dealing with here is that, and it is amazing. So let's talk about my number one book for this week. And let me tell you, if you have been sleeping on the Batman Secret Files stories, don't sleep on this one. Don't sleep on it. Batman Secret Files, The Gardener. See, the thing is it kind of breaks the mold with the rest of the Batman Secret Files stories in that it's either continuation of a certain character or it's a origin story of a certain character whenever they've come out, like Clown Hunter. Yeah. Sorry guys, brain fart on that one. Or The Signal, or we had a Huntress one. It's either a continuation, extra special glimpse into their side of the story, or it is an origin tale, or there's a mixture of both. Like we had With Molly, it was that was an absolutely fabulous one too. The Molly one. Oh my goodness, Miracle Molly. Yeah. So with that, you get an origin story, and here's the thing: this is less about the gardener and more about Ivy, Pamela, Dr. Pamela Isley, Ivy, her connection to the story of Ivy, Ivy's connection to her story, Ivy's connection to the perception of her connection to Harley Quinn, and Harley, you know, being that surprisingly grounding force for Ivy, and that it was something that she can put her energy into caring about. And it kind of talked about what happens, you know, throughout the course of all this. And you come to the point where you find out that in the story, in the way Bella, the gardener, is seeing it, that eventually when Ivy was kind of pulled away, or like Harley was pulled away from Ivy to become part of the Suicide Squad, Ivy didn't handle it well and kind of, you know, went off the deep end. And all this kind of is chronicling and mentioning the everyone loves Ivy storyline that happened in Batman 41, 42, 43, and which in more specific timeline quality happens actually right before Heroes in Crisis, right before Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, right before Heroes in Crisis, which is right next to it. I don't know if you can see it there, maybe faintly. And it's basically when, you know, Ivy tried to use her pheromones to get everyone to do her bidding. And it's actually the reason why she ends up in Sanctuary. Well, what you find out is that when Ivy was visiting Bella, when she was telling her about her plan to do that, Bella cultivated seeds from Ivy to cultivate the things that she felt were best about Ivy, her compassion, her love, and her kindness, and her, you know, all the great things that Bella loved about Ivy, and she knew that Harley had brought out in her. And you find out that this, with the combination of this issue and Batman, that the kind Ivy that they get to merge with Queen Ivy is the one that was born out of these seeds that were cultivated by Bella. This is absolutely, even just looking at the art alone was absolutely beautiful, and the story just blew me away. I'm a sucker for stories like this, okay? So, like, yeah, I'm a sucker for stories like this, but the thing is this, combined with the art, combined with the feeling coming from it, were just too much to not make it my number one book of the week. So if you have been sleeping on it, please take a look at Batman Secret Files, The Gardener. Absolutely beautiful. That beautiful art by Ward, let me tell you. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, guys, so that's all there is to it. A little bit longer video than last week, but I talked about all the comics this week instead of just a few of them. So please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I got 21 subscribers now. 21 of you see my videos in your YouTube subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to get that up. Tell your friends. Tell your friends about me, because I love this. I'm going to be doing more pop culture stuff. That's I mean, obviously my channel's really heavy on the comics because that's what I'm really into right now. But guys, I'm into Doctor Who. I'm into other geeky stuff. I'm into music. I'm into movies, horror. My boyfriend and I are planning to do a little bit of a horror movie, Christmas horror movie marathon coming up probably on Friday or Saturday, in which I plan to make some videos about it. I'm planning to do, like I said, I think I'm going to do a Fear State retrospective coming up. I got a couple haul videos that I got to do, because I've got some hauls. And please, also take a look at my CGC, video. I am absolutely in love with that, and you guys gotta check it out. So, that's it for me. That's it for this week with the Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Roundup. And my name, if you didn't already catch it already, is Carrie Quinn. And this is the Officially Unofficial Geek channel. Please check us out on Facebook. Check me out on Twitter at CarrieQAuthor. And please keep reading, keep shining, keep on loving, keep on being. And I'll see you guys soon.